I want to welcome everyone thank you for coming today for the information session for Forensic and National Security Sciences Institute. My name is Kathy Corrado. I am the executive director of the program. I've been here for about a year and a half, and prior to coming here, I was the crime lab director at the Onondaga County Center for Forensic Sciences Crime Laboratory. That's based in Syracuse. It's the crime laboratory that's just about a mile down the road from the university here. We have 5 of us from the program here today, and what we're going to do is we'll introduce ourselves, and then we'll give you a short slide presentation about the program, and then we'll open it up for questions. We hope you have a lot of questions. We'd love to answer them. In addition to myself, we have Professor Sponsler, who's director of the curriculum. We have Kashana Bartley, who is our program coordinator, and we have 2 students, Amber and Bridget, with us today. So I'll just let everyone introduce themselves, tell you a little bit about themselves, and then we'll move forward. If anybody can't hear or there's any other problem, please feel free to put it in the chat, let us know. And also, if you have any questions throughout, we'll go ahead and answer them. So feel free to put questions in the chat at any time. All right, Professor Sponsler, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Sure. I'm Michael Sponsler. I'm a professor in both chemistry and forensic science. I've been at Syracuse University for a little over 30 years. And I do research in organic and organometallic chemistry directed towards electrical and optical materials. And we've applied that to forensics in a couple ways in the form of chemical and biological sensors, and also in the field of conducting polymers and such. Okay, so yeah, I'm the director of the curricular program, so deal a lot with the courses and our degree programs. Okay, so should we do Kashana next?
Sure.
Hi, I'm Kashana. I'm the program coordinator. I'm located in the Life Science Complex, which is where most of the classes will be. I've been at SU for a year in September, and I basically plan the events. I answer the emails. If you have any questions, I answer them, or I'll send them to either Dr. Sponsler or Dr. Corrado to answer for me.
Bridget, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Syracuse. I'm Bridget. I'm a senior studying forensic science and biology, and I also have minors in Arabic and Middle Eastern studies. And I'm also part of the honors program. I'm a senior this year, so if anybody has questions about honors, you can shoot those over to me too. Amber?
Hi, I'm also a senior. My majors are biochemistry and forensic science. Bridget and I do research in Dr. Marciano's lab, which is like bioforensics and DNA specific. I'm also staying for 1 more year to do my master's. And then another fun fact is I did an internship at the Defense Forensic Science Center, which is down in Atlanta, helping them with research projects in forensics for the US Army. So.
Great. Thank you, guys. I'm just going to share my screen. Can everyone see the PowerPoint? Someone just, yeah, thank you. Great. So I just also want to let everyone know that prior, as I was crime lab director, but my background is in forensic DNA analysis as well. So if anyone has any questions about that, I can also help answer. So we're just going to do a quick PowerPoint just to give you an overview of the program, and then feel free to ask questions. So what you see on the screen now is basically a picture of the Life Science Complex, or the Science Complex, and this is where our program is located. Just an overview of the university. I don't know how many of you have come to visit. I hope you get to. It's a really beautiful, beautiful campus. Syracuse is recognized as a student-focused global research university, and one thing that we like to point out is that we're really known for being very interdisciplinary and having a lot of collaborations among the different departments. And I think forensic science is one of the departments that really excels at that. So, you know, not only when you come here, if you're in the forensics department, we'll talk more about the integrated learning major, but not only are you in the forensics, but you also get exposure to a lot of other departments, including biology, chemistry, psychology, and a bunch of other departments as well. Obviously, we're the home of the Dome. If you like sports, this is a great place to be. And also, we like to point out that really being orange is more than just a color. It's really a lifelong connection. What's important about that, we think, in terms of forensics in particular, is that we have a really strong alumni base. And so when people are wanting to, they have questions about something or they are looking for jobs, we have a lot of people that are in labs throughout the country, and they send us job openings and we can pass that on. If you have a question about something, we have people that you can reach out to, both within the department and within our alumni base. The mission of the Forensics and National Security Science Institute is to provide leadership, training, and research for students with exceptional scientific skills, legal and political understanding, and ethical practices. And really, our core values are science, knowledge, and integrity. And really what we're trying to do in the forensic program is to make sure everyone has a really strong background in the scientific basis of what we're doing. We also then have a lot of hands-on classes where you get a lot of experience in applied skills and technical skills and how to use them in the field. And then also we focus on integrity, because in the forensic science field, ethics and integrity are really important. It's really important that people know it's important to be objective and to be transparent in what you do. And we kind of emphasize that in all of our classes. We have, this is a list of our full-time faculty. So we have about 9 full-time faculty, and then Kashana, who you've met, our academic support. We also have a large base of adjunct faculty, which we actually take pride in, because if you see all the people here, these are all practicing professionals. So many of the full-time faculty, like myself and a few others, were practicing in forensic science, but these particular adjuncts are actually currently working in the field. So a lot of them work at the crime lab down the road. They're latent print examiners, DNA examiners, firearms examiners. Some of them work in the medical examiner's office. We have a psychologist that works in forensic psychology. We have the person that teaches our crime scene class is a retired state trooper that did crime scene analysis. So you're really getting taught by people that are current in the field and that have a lot of experience that can keep you up to date with things. And also they have a lot of connections as well. This is just a picture of the forensic science office where you'll find Kashana in the life science building. And we also have laboratories. It's right actually where Amber and Bridget are right as we speaking right now, from some research labs in Lyman Hall, which is right across the street. So most of the forensic classes are in these 2 buildings. In terms of career paths, a lot of our students go on to jobs in crime labs, or they go on to graduate school, medical school. They might work in federal agencies. So there's a lot of different career paths you can enter into forensics, and we can certainly, this is the list you see here, we can certainly talk about some of those during the questions if you have any. As I said, we want to talk about the fact that the forensics program is an ILM, which is an integrated learning major, which basically means that you can't major in just forensics alone. You have to pair it with another major. That could be a science like biology, chemistry, biochemistry, physics, could be psychology. It doesn't have to be those. It could be paired with any other major. We have, if you go to our website, you can see we have a lot of different majors that people pair forensics with. If you plan a career as a forensic scientist, we suggest you major in a science as well, but you don't have to, depending on what your career path is. Some of our students are political science majors and go on to law school, and they just want to have the forensics background for that. So there's a whole lot of different ways that you can put it together that work. It basically is a total of 25 or 26 credits. So it's basically 8 courses, and there's 4 specific required courses for the forensics discipline. You can see them listed there. And then you take one class, which is a connection class. So depending on what your other major is, you're going to take a class that's going to connect the forensic science to the other major. And then you have 3 classes or 9 credits that you can, that are electives that you can take in any of our classes. Depending on what your other major is, what your concentration is, you'll take classes that make sense to that. So for instance, if you are a biology major, molecular biology major, you might want to take classes in DNA analysis. That would be an example. What we have here are just a partial list of some of our courses. You can see we have classes in medical legal death investigation, pathology, microbial forensics, cold cases, latent prints, firearms, bloodstain pattern analysis. There's a lot, and I'm sure if you have questions that Amber and Bridget can talk to you about those as well. Also just want to mention that our program, we also have a master's program. We have a number of different tracks, master's in forensic science, biomedical, medical legal death investigation. The point of bringing this up is that some students actually stay, and as Amber said, she's going to be staying. So some students want to stay and get a master's, and you can basically do that by probably just staying 1 year or about 1.5 years if you want to stay and get your master's. And we can, Professor Sponsor will be happy to talk more about that as well. We also have research opportunities here at Syracuse University, particularly in the forensics department. The research that we focus on is mostly applied research. So what we really look at is the intersection of basic science and how it relates to the justice system and criminal forensics, and also how it relates to national security. So we do, a lot of our research is focused around the intersection of those 3 things. And I'm sure Amber and Bridget would be happy to talk to you about their research as well. We also have a lot of collaborations here at the forensics department. So we collaborate both with, as I said, with other departments within the university, and we also collaborate with a number of federal agencies. We collaborate with the FBI and the Department of Defense and the Defense Forensic Science Center, as well as other criminal forensic laboratories. We have a good relationship with the crime lab, which is right down the street. We have relationships with Erie County Crime Lab, which is in Buffalo, with the New York City Medical Examiner's Office Crime Lab in New York City. We do research with labs in Connecticut and California, as well as Michigan. We also have a lot of relationships with private entities. So our goal is really to collaborate with public and private crime laboratories, as well as putting out products, working on new products that might be in the forensics realm. So a lot of the research that we do, we work with companies called Niche Vision and Silicon Biosystems. We've worked with Promega and the American Tissue Culture Center. We also, part of what we do here is we try to have students involved in research as much as we can. So these are some examples of some of the publications that students have been involved with here in the forensics department. And you'll hear from some of our students that they are involved in this type of research and they are publishing. And lastly, we also have a connection with the Syracuse University ICCAE, which is the Intelligence Community Center.
Thank you for shopping at Costco.
Sorry. The Syracuse University Intelligence Community Center for Academic Excellence, or the ICCAE. And this basically is, we're one of 12 universities in the United States that is part of the ICCAE. And this is a group that is working towards increasing diversity in the workforce in the intelligence community. And it's really great collaboration that we have here, because our students can join the ICCAE, and it actually, doesn't cost any additional funds, but it does allow you to make connections within the intelligence community. Things like the FBI, the CIA, the ATF, all your 3-letter institutions, they come and give seminar speakers. They have they hold like career fairs where you can meet with those groups, and they help you work on your resume and things like that. So, and also they support funding for research. So we can talk more about that if anyone's interested about that as well. And lastly, there's some forensic students groups. Amber actually was one of the people that started the undergraduate Syracuse University Forensic Science Student Association. They put on some great events. They host a lot of different things she can talk about. And there's some graduate student groups as well. All right. So that is the end of our PowerPoint presentation. I hope that that was informative for some people, and we would just be happy to open it up for questions.